Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be cleaning up and organizing my office/studio, as well as unboxing a whole bunch of my art supplies that have just been packed away from our move, which actually happened back in January, but we are finally at a space now where I can sort of get these out of the boxes and have a little bit of space to create some artwork and just a space for me, which is super exciting. We've been doing lots of work around here, and this room has been a catch-all for almost everything downstairs. So I am carving out this corner over here and going to make it mine. And like I said, I'm very excited for that. So I started off by building my desk and just kind of shifting things around. I took out a few things that didn't belong in the room and could go other places, and then I just tried to, like I said, move things around, and I was trying to figure out where I was going to actually put my art supplies once I unboxed them. So I am just kind of working with everything that I had brought from the old house, and we had some like metal cabinets, and I had a bookcase from my bedroom, so I decided to use those. But then I realized that I had purchased a rolling art cart, I call it an art cart, from IKEA, and I saw the box, so I decided to build that up real quick so I had some space to put more supplies. And here is my first box. I didn't really know what exactly was in here. I know I tried my best to label the boxes, but honestly there's just so many things that I couldn't literally write everything. So it was kind of a surprise what was gonna be in each of these boxes. This one was super random. I wasn't even sure how I wanted to record this video. I thought I would do it in real time. So I was trying to show some things here, but this ended up taking so long and there was so much that I had to cut it down and speed through it. I will walk through everything just briefly after I unpack each box so I can show you what was in there. Okay, so this box had lots of random things in it. Some Gamsol for my oil painting, and these are all my acrylic paints. A friend of mine actually gave me all of these a little while back, and I am so grateful for that because there are so many of them. And I have some yarn for some things I was going to make a long time ago for the baby, but now she's a year old and I clearly haven't made any of those things. But in this box I had some ink and my Winsor & Newton watercolors and some empty pans. I've got sponges, and then in this bin I have some multi-surface paints. I did do some like DIY projects. I love doing DIY projects, so I had some glass paint and some multi-surface stuff, and then there was a can of Oops paint from Lowe's. I love checking the Oops bin when I go there, and some gesso, some gel medium. Then there was some wood stain. I love staining wood. It's so fun. I don't know why, but I just love it. And I also love to spray paint, so I love spray painting things. And again, I'm a big fan of DIY projects, so I feel like those are essentials. And then I have some cement for mixing stepping stones. I did a project with my daughter And now I'm just putting everything into this little metal filing cabinet. I don't use a lot of these things too often. They are more for like random projects and stuff. So I'm just putting all the things that I don't use too often into here so I can just have them if I need them, but also they are just put away and don't necessarily have to be in grabbing reach. So here we have some metal stamping supplies and some jewelry making supplies and items. This is so fun. I love doing this, but I gotta do it more often. And then I've got my paper cutter, and this is a photo of my daughter from when she was a lot younger, our trip to Bryant Park in the city, and I just love that picture. It's one of my favorites. This is a painting my daughter made me when she was in like preschool, and it looks like a bird to me, and I just love it. It's one of my favorites, so I keep that on display all the time. This box was lots of fun to unpack. It's all the things I love the most or use the most. So here I have some different paper. I have Arches paper, Canson paper, aqua boards. And that piece I just showed you is actually made of elephant poop. I got it in Thailand. No idea what I'm going to use it for, but I do have it. In here I have some pastels and some clay making, items, and then here I have some oil paints, Gamblin oil paints, and some brushes that I use specifically for those. I have some ink and some office supplies in here. Next to that is some brushes. I don't use those brushes too often. They're more of beat up brushes. I let my kids use them and stuff like that. And then I have this Arteza gouache set. I did get this right before we moved, so I didn't really get a chance to use it yet because it's been packed away this whole time. I've only made one painting with it, so I'm excited to actually get to finally use it now. And then in here I have some Copic markers as well as some metallic Faber-Castell markers that I just use for like accenting things. And then here I have some dual tip Tombow brush pens. I did get the skin tone pack, I believe, and I just like the nice soft colors that had in it. So here I have some charcoal pencils, just a bunch of random ones. I don't use them too often, but I honestly don't remember when I got those. It was so long ago. And here I have just different pens, micron pens, gel pens, another pack of sketching pencils, and just some other pens and things I've collected. And then in here I have the Prismacolor colored pencils, and I usually use those for sketching under my watercolor paintings. Here I have a bunch of different stamps and ink pads. I use those mostly in my planner when I was sort of making my own planner pages. And then here I have some embroidery string. This was a little kit I got for Christmas last year. And just some extra brushes, a calligraphy set, and this is for stamp making in this little pouch here. And then here's just a piece of tissue paper that I think came from an order that I had placed, and I just thought it was really pretty, so I saved it because I want to use it for something. I don't know what yet. And then I had some paper for sumi painting and a little book to help me learn how to do that. This box was kind of fun. It had some old paintings from back when I was, I believe, in high school, and a painting from my grandfather that I'll show at the end, and just some empty canvases. And it had a lot of different books inside and some reference photos, a little collection, a folder that I had started, and it has just a bunch of different clippings inside of there. And it had my sketchbooks and some journals, a laminator, some wood, and just a bunch of little random things. Okay guys, so day 2, it got really late the other night, so I had to call it quits and go to bed, but I I'm back in here today. I will be tonight, and I think I'm just gonna try to organize and make a little bit more sense of things. I still have a lot of like overflow of tools and things like that, and I don't have like a place for everything still, so I'm gonna do my best to organize what I can with what I have for now. And yeah, oh, I also realized when I was laying in bed last night that all of my watercolor supplies are still upstairs, because that's what I've been using. Is not packed in what I use pretty much most of all, so it would make sense for me to add those in here. So I will bring those down a little bit and show you those too, but for now, back to work. I know I have shown you guys a lot of things here today, but I love creating and I love trying new things, especially when it comes to creating. So please keep in mind that this is a collection of items over several years. Some of it was gifts or purchased on gift cards, things I've ordered myself, or, you know, gone to the art store and picked out, because I just can't help it sometimes when I go in and I see these things and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to try that. It just looks like so much fun. So I do, but I do also get gift cards and things like that, and for holidays, birthdays, and when I do, I like to try and buy new things that I wouldn't necessarily pick out or buy myself, or that I've been wanting to try, but you know, not necessarily want to dive in and get all the supplies that you need to do those sorts of things, like stamp making, for instance, or metal stamping. I know I got those on gift cards because I'd always wanted to, but never had a reason to go out and buy them. So if it's a gift, come on, you can't help yourself, right? So I like to think that I'm a collector more than a hoarder, but when it comes to art supplies, I definitely am kind of a hoarder, even with just like little bits of paper or scrap papers and things like that. I have to save them. Ribbons, I have to save them because I feel like I can use them for something. And so I do have drawers full of little things like that too, but I don't know. Am I the only one like that? I don't think so. It's hard when you're a creator because you can create with anything, you know? Okay, so I just brought this down from upstairs and it's a little bit more random than I remember. But let's see if we can run through this real quick. So, envelopes. Uh-oh, can't get it out. Got a sketchbook here. And some watercolors. Some ink pads. Dye for when my daughter and I were dyeing. My dad gave me this. It's supposed to be for cleaning your brushes. I haven't used it yet, but we'll give that a go. I grabbed these from Target the other day, and I'm excited because mine exploded on an airplane. So got some new ones. And there's one brush in here. This is my like go-to for my watercolors. They have a little palette and my porcelain palette, my paints, tape, water brushes, like a pencil, just like the super basics in here of what I need. And this I actually got for my daughter in Korea, and she didn't really use it, so I took it back. And yeah, and here's a bunch of watercolor brushes and paint I dug out in my last video to make some white moons. Yeah, washi tape. I was actually wondering where that was. And let's see. Watercolor paper, labels, Mod Podge for something I want to try. Hopefully we'll get to that soon. Some more new watercolor paper, some stickers, markers, and a paper cutter. All right, not too bad. I can work with this. All right, you guys, we did it. We organized a whole bunch of things. I still have some boxes over here and some construction things for the rest of the house, but in here is like my sewing machine, painted canvases, half painted canvases that you saw. So I kept those in the box because I really don't have a place for them just yet. And I'm not really using them. So I know where they are. I know what's in there. I can get them if I need them. I have some paperwork for filing in there, but again, I don't have a place for it yet. So that will be at a later date. Over here, I have my Papasan chair outside. I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to clean it off and then bring it in. And I'm going to put that over here. And a plant stand, I'll have to move that. But on my little bookcase here, I have a sketchbook, my watercolor sketchbook, a notebook, some books. Those are my how-to books. And again, a painting that will eventually go on the wall. But for now, she looks pretty right there. And I put a couple of things on here. I'll probably fill that in more with things I'm currently using. And then under there is also just a bunch of stuff that I don't really use, but I had to unpack the boxes. So I fit it all in there, and again, if I need it, I know where it is. On my desk, I have a box from Jackson's that I will open another day, and some books from Korea and Thailand. And I'm going to go through my brushes and get rid of some of these. Yeah, not so much. I'll get rid of that. And then over here I have my workspace for working. And I put another picture up over there, my printer and scanner. And then underneath here, I stuffed my plastic drawers in there. I did film it, but I decided to leave it out because it is literally just a bunch of random things like mason jars, wood burning tools. There's some thread, stickers, ribbons, and sewing needles, like literally everything. Stones for my stepping stone stuff, and yeah, so like I said, a bunch of stuff. Oh, and then in here is where this is my go-to stuff, and I just filled in all these drawers, everyone. This is all my watercolor things, and in here I have pencils, drawing, markers in the back, some markers over here, and everything has a home. Stamps and washi tape. This is some stamp making stuff. And in here I have my acrylics and my gouache. This drawer is some stickers, Mod Podge, what is that? Embroidery string. And behind that, oh, clay. And what's in here? Oils and ink. And my paper cutters actually fit in here, so that was nice. And then down here I just have paper, all different paper, those little aqua boards and stuff, envelopes, and that is it. So I hope you guys enjoy. Maybe it'll motivate you to rearrange or set up your studio. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. If you do, thumbs up and maybe hit subscribe, and I will see you in the future. Thanks again for watching. Bye guys.